America's most memorable landscapes often reveal themselves at road speed. The slow unfurling of a canyon wall, the sudden opening of a prairie sky, the way a coastal headland appears, disappears, and returns around each bend. Scenic driving in the United States is also a story of engineering and conservation, of early Good Roads campaigns, New Deal-era park roads built for the public, and modern scenic byway programs designed to protect what you've come to see. Here is a ranked guide to 10 states where the road itself becomes the attraction, with iconic routes, essential viewpoints, and practical travel notes to help you plan with confidence. Number 10. Minnesota, where water and forest shape nearly every mile. The state's signature route is the North Shore Scenic Drive along Highway 61 from Duluth toward the Canadian border. It traces Lake Superior, an inland sea with surf, fog, and a horizon that feels oceanic. Stop at Gooseberry Falls and Split Rock Lighthouse State Park for classic North Shore images, basalt cliffs, dark conifers, and the lighthouse perched above the lake like a maritime postcard. In autumn, the hills behind the shoreline ignite with color, and temperatures can change quickly near the water. Pack layers and expect wind. For a different tone, take the Great River Road along the Mississippi, where bluff-top overlooks and river towns tell the long story of trade and migration through the continent's interior. Number 9. Virginia, where scenic driving doubles as a tour through American history. Skyline Drive and the Blue Ridge Parkway form the state's premier pairing, running along the crest of the Blue Ridge with frequent pullouts engineered for views. Skyline Drive, in Shenandoah National Park, is slower and more intimate, 35 miles per hour, frequent deer sightings, and overlooks that frame the Shenandoah Valley like a series of landscape paintings. Big Meadows is a reliable stop for short walks and wildlife. Continue south onto the Blue Ridge Parkway for longer vistas and classic Appalachian culture. Craft centers, music traditions, and small towns in the folds of the mountains. Fall brings peak color, but also heavy traffic. Weekday mornings are calmer, and fog can reduce visibility, so drive with headlights and patience. Number 8. Maine, where granite, tide, and spruce create a coastline that feels both rugged and finely detailed. The essential drive is along U.S. Route 1, especially the stretches between Brunswick, Rockland, and the down-east coast toward Ellsworth and the approach to Acadia. Detour onto the Park Loop Road in Acadia National Park for a concentrated sequence of viewpoints: Sand Beach, Thunderhole, and the climb toward Cadillac Mountain, famous for early sunrise views in certain seasons. Coastal driving here rewards flexibility. Bridges, working harbors, and narrow village streets slow the pace. Summer is busy, and parking fills early in Acadia. Shoulder seasons offer crisp air and fewer crowds, though some services reduce hours after October. Number 7. Washington, where the Pacific Northwest's drama comes in layers: rainforest, volcano, desert, and sea, sometimes in the same day. One of the most varied routes is the Olympic Peninsula Loop, linking the mossy halls of the Hoh rainforest, the wild beaches near Rialto and Ruby, and the quieter shoreline of Lake Crescent. For mountain spectacle, the Mount Rainier area offers high-elevation drives like the route to Sunrise when roads are open, delivering wide views of glaciers and ridgelines. Washington's conditions are defined by weather and elevation. Coastal rain can be steady, and mountain roads can close seasonally for snow. Start early for popular national park corridors and keep an eye on forecasts. Cloud ceilings can turn epic overlooks into a white wall, then clear again an hour later. Number 6. California, a state so large and varied it can feel like several countries stitched together by highways. The most famous scenic drive is Highway 1 along the Big Sur coast, where the Santa Lucia Range drops into the Pacific in steep, cinematic folds. Bixby Creek Bridge is a landmark viewpoint, but the real reward is the rhythm of headlands and coves. Pfeiffer Big Sur State Park, Julia Pfeiffer Burns State Park, and the waterfall that spills toward the sea at McWay Falls. Farther south, the coastal route toward Santa Barbara adds beaches and Mission-era history. Farther north, it transitions into redwood country. California driving requires planning. Landslides can close sections of Highway 1. Summer fog can obscure views, and weekends bring congestion. For an inland counterpoint, the Tioga Road across Yosemite, when open, offers high granite domes, alpine meadows, and crisp air, one of the West's great seasonal crossings. Number 5. Colorado, where altitude turns driving into a study in geology and weather. The state's marquee routes include the Million Dollar Highway, a dramatic segment of US 550 between Ouray and Silverton, carved into steep slopes with sharp drop-offs and little shoulder. It's unforgettable, but not the place to rush. Use pullouts, watch for sudden storms, and expect slow traffic behind RVs. Another classic is Trail Ridge Road in Rocky Mountain National Park, among the highest continuous paved roads in North America, rising above tree line into open tundra, where the horizon expands and the air thins. Summer offers accessibility, but afternoon thunderstorms are common. Start early for clearer skies and calmer winds. In fall, aspens turn entire valleys gold, especially around Kebler Pass near Crested Butte, where the forest becomes a luminous corridor. Number 4. Utah, where roads thread through a gallery of rock. Scenic driving here is not just about viewpoints. It's about passing through landscapes that look carved by imagination, then realizing they were carved by water, wind, and time. Utah's mighty 5 national parks are linked by excellent drives, but 2 routes stand out for pure road trip impact. Scenic Byway 12, often called one of America's greatest drives, runs between Bryce Canyon and Capitol Reef, crossing high plateaus, slick rock, and the narrow spine of Hell's Backbone where drop-offs fall away on both sides. In Zion, the Zion Mount Carmel Highway includes a historic tunnel and switchbacks with grand views, though shuttle systems may limit private vehicle access in peak season. Utah's best driving seasons are spring and fall, cooler temperatures and clearer light. Summer heat can be intense, and flash floods can affect slot canyon areas. Carry water, fuel up in small towns, and respect distance. Number 3. Montana, where the scale is so large it changes how you measure a day's drive. The crown jewel is Going to the Sun Road in Glacier National Park, a masterpiece of mountain road engineering that climbs to Logan Pass and traverses a wall of peaks, waterfalls, and hanging valleys. The road is seasonal and often requires timed entry reservations. Check ahead because openings depend on snowpack and plowing. When it's open, the experience is unmatched. Mountain goats near the pass, glacial lakes below, and a sense of moving through an active landscape shaped by ice. Outside the park, the Beartooth Highway, technically linking Montana and Wyoming, reaches high alpine plateaus with broad views and sudden weather shifts, even in midsummer. In Montana, distances between services can be significant. Keep your tank comfortably above empty and expect wildlife on the road at dawn and dusk. Number 2. Hawaii, where scenic driving compresses volcanoes, rainforests, and coastline into short, intense routes. The road to Hana on Maui is the most famous, a winding corridor of bridges, waterfalls, bamboo groves, and sea cliffs. It's not a drive for speed, it's a drive for rhythm. pulling off for a short walk to a cascade, sampling local fruit stands, and letting faster traffic pass. Start early to avoid congestion and to secure parking at popular stops. On the Big Island, the drive through Hawaii Volcanoes National Park offers a different kind of awe. Lava landscapes, steam vents, and the sobering sense of a living planet reshaping itself. Conditions here are defined by rain, narrow roads, and changing microclimates. Bring a light jacket even on warm days, and treat one-lane bridges and local driving etiquette with respect. Number 1. Alaska, where the road trip becomes an expedition and the views feel unedited by time. Alaska's great drives are less about dense networks and more about long corridors through wild country. The Seward Highway from Anchorage to Seward is a standout, hugging Turnagain Arm where tides race and mountains rise sharply from the water. Pull over at Beluga Point for chances to spot belugas in season and to watch the Arm's dramatic tidal flats. Continue toward the Kenai Peninsula for glaciers, fjords, and harbor towns. Another essential route is the Parks Highway toward Denali, where the mountain, North America's highest, can appear like a mirage on clear days, floating above the horizon. Alaska's driving season is shaped by daylight and weather. Summer offers long hours and open roads, while shoulder seasons can bring early snow and slick conditions. Wildlife is a constant presence. Drive alertly, especially at dawn and dusk, and keep a respectful distance if you stop to watch animals. Across all 10 states, a few principles elevate a scenic drive from a checklist to a lived experience. First, treat time as part of the landscape. Start early for clearer skies and emptier overlooks, and plan shorter mileages than you would on ordinary highways. Second, learn the road's character, whether it's a cliff-hugging mountain pass, a fog-prone coast, or a remote highway with sparse fuel, and match it to your comfort level. Third, stop often, not just at the famous viewpoints, but in small towns and visitor centers, where local history and geology turn beautiful scenery into a story you can understand. A great road trip is not merely a sequence of sights. It's the slow accumulation of context. Why a lighthouse stands on that cliff. How a glacier carved that valley. What a volcanic island is still becoming. In these 10 states, the byways don't just take you through scenery. They teach you how the country was made. By rivers and ice, fire and uplift, and by generations of people who built roads not only to get somewhere, but to see.